Topping the news tonight, government officials are continuing to roll out the infrastructure needed to administer rapid antigen tests for travelers once they are in the country for 5 days. With penalties for non-compliance now in place, the Ministers of Health and Tourism and Aviation provided reporters on an insight as to how it will be policed. Cleopatra Murphy spoke with them before this morning's weekly cabinet meeting at the Churchill Building.
There will be a penalty for travelers who enter the country and fail to take the newly mandated COVID-19 rapid antigen test on their 5th day of being in the Bahamas. The emergency powers order says travelers on Grand Bahama and New Providence who fail to comply will face a $1,000 fine or 10 months in jail. Asked how the program will be policed, Minister of Health, the Honorable Renwood Wells, says information gleaned from the health visa will enable officials to track and, if necessary, contact visitors.
The team that is in place is really the team that's going to be in tourism. Tourism has put in the apparatus for it, for the 5-day test. The Minister of Tourism would have spoken to these issues during his press conference. We're going to ensure that those folks who, as I said, stay beyond the 5 days, that we do contact them. And if they are positive, then the Ministry of Health would have to step in regards to the rapid antigen test, in regards to the RT-PCR test.
Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, says they are in the process of building the platform to administer the test.
So the way we envision that working is that if you're in New Providence, for example, you would go to Doctor's Hospital, any one of their outlets. You would have your travel visa, which would have on it your QR code, which is like a barcode. They would then be able to scan that, bring up the details of your travel, and then upload the results to your account with the health visa.
He says the Bahamian developers have advised it may not be fully functional by the 5th, but they are currently working with a manual system.
In the Family Islands, we're sourcing healthcare providers. We're going to build a website. We're going to show you where to go, who you can reach out to. It's going to be all platform and IT driven.
The Minister of Tourism says tourism officials are hoping to make getting the test easy.
If you came to Nassau and Atlantis was open, we wouldn't envision people coming over the bridge to go to Doctor's Hospital. We are going to create a concierge service or let's say Doctor's Hospital, whoever the other labs will be. But right now we're starting with one. Let's get that up and they would probably go over to Atlantis. They would set up a remote site there, and so the persons could come down between 3 and 4. We expect to have an appointment-based system.
He says Bahamians can go to any of the facilities on the island. As for non-compliance, de Aguilar says the hope is that people will follow protocols.
You've already paid for it. We're certainly going to make the sites known where you can go. We just would love for people to comply. We don't want to get into the fighting over the fines, but that is an added motivation for people to comply.
For persons at sea on the 5th day, the emergency orders say they are to take the test on arrival at the next port. If the test is positive, it must be followed by an RT-PCR test and quarantine until results are confirmed. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.